Hello my dear friends, my name is Sanne and welcome to another beauty video. Today I have for you another 3 looks 1 palette. Again, one of my favorite videos to do. I keep saying this for every single 3 looks 1 palette video that I do. Always really excited to film these. And today I have for you the ShellWeMakeup Farasha palette, which I'm gonna try to do 3 looks with. So let's first quickly talk a bit about this beautiful palette. This is the latest palette by ShellWeMakeup, a Chinese cruelty-free brand. Again, just always stunning packaging, this brand. It always looks beautiful, it always looks thought out and like a concept. I always really love the packaging of this brand. For this palette we have a beautiful fairy garden vibe going on. Lots of fairies, lots of butterflies, lots of flowers. Stunning packaging as always, like I said. I am so excited about this palette because I am a big fan of ShellWeMakeup. Their packaging, their formulas, their shimmers, they're all stunning. They're all beautiful. And I'm such a big fan of them as a brand. But this is the first time that they released a palette that also actually completely screams me. It's just the perfect vibes for me. There's loads of shimmer, loads of glitter. There is greens, there's pinks, there's blues. It's literally all my favorite colors in one palette. It's more pastel-y shade. They're like a bit more lighter tones. Usually they do a lot of dark grungy tones, which I love. But now they did like their version of like a pastel-y thing. I'm so excited about this palette. And one thing that I think is always a pro in these palettes is that the shades are removable, they're magnetic, so you can take out these pans and use them to create your own custom palette or mix and match them with all the other ShellWeMakeup palettes. So it allows you to be very creative, which I love. And it still looks stunning. I'll have some swatches up for you on the screen so you can check those out first. And then in this video I'm gonna make 3 different looks for you. I'm gonna try to use every single shade in this palette so we see all of them in action. I don't feel like there's a lot more to say about it at first, so I think we should just quickly hop into look number 1. So for look number 1 I want to dive into the blue shades of this palette because I feel like it's winter time, it's nearing Christmas. We need to do some like blue wintry tones first and then we can do like the fun pink and green combo that I love doing. We can do that later. So let's first dive into those blue tints. These shades don't have names for as far as I'm aware, they just have numbers. I'm just gonna name them by numbers as well. And I'm gonna show the shade that I'm working with in the corner of the screen as always. So I'll start with shade 10, which is a deep blue toned gray. You just slightly touch it with the brush and you already get so much pigment. These mattes are always so buttery. They're beautiful. I'm just gonna softly tap that on so we can get the shape that I want to go for. I feel like this one might have a bit of fallout, honestly. Also, because you already get a lot of kick up in the pan, so that's usually how you can tell that there will be quite some fallout. As you can see, there's also quite some pigment. So we'll bring up that wing a bit and then we'll move that into the crease. I did apply an eyeshadow primer beforehand because that is just the way that I roll, honestly. I always use an eyeshadow primer when I'm doing my makeup, so I'm always using it in reviews as well. And for that I'm using the Milani eyeshadow primer. Okay, so I kind of just put down that shape. We'll work with it a bit more later. So then I'm gonna go into shade 2, which is a deeper greenish blue. And I'm gonna blend that on the inside right next to that grey that we just used. Kind of just using that to blend that grey inwards basically. It's a beautiful deep shade. As you can tell, we're going for a bit dark and smoky today. So then we'll dive into shade number 6, which is that bright minty teal shade, which is so cute honestly. And then blending that right onto the inner corner of the lid. There's some fallout going on, but so far it's really not that bad actually. And I'm blending that a bit into that deeper shade. So that is a bit the basis that we're working with. And now I want to dive into some shimmers. Let's see if we can apply them with a brush just for funsies. So I'm going into shade number 5, which is a beautiful deep blue shimmer. Placing that right in that outer corner, where we also have that deep teal shade. I feel like the brush is not really working with this one. I feel like we need to use fingers. Yeah, way better, way better. Usually the ShellWeMakeup formulas are a bit more creamy, and for some reason I feel like that just works better when you use your finger instead of a brush. So just making sure that that outer corner It's like a lot of beautiful blue shimmer. And then I'm gonna go into shade number 3, which is like the grayish shimmer. Using my silicone brush this time. I'm just applying that to that inner corner. And I'm also gonna be applying a tiny bit of that deep blue to the lower lash line over here. Also applying that gray shade as an inner corner highlight. And I feel like we're just losing the mattes a tiny bit, so I'm gonna go in and blend a bit more. Getting rid of some of that fallout. It's not too bad, but I think I'm happy enough with this. It's not my favorite look I've ever done. We'll work with it. I'm just gonna do the other eye, add everything that I want to add to this look, and I'll be right back with you with the finished look. Okay, I am back with the finished look. What I added to this look was first of all the ShellWeMakeup Present Highlighter Palette, which are beautiful, beautiful sparkly highlighters. The lashes are LASplash Horror Lashes in style Phantom. And then on the lips I'm wearing a combination of the Collection Lip Definer in Nude Pink 1 and the Colourpop Star Wars Lip Gloss in Imperial. I also added a dark grey eye pencil to the waterline to blend everything together, and that is the finished look. I wasn't liking it while I was putting it on, but it also apparently was because I forgot to put on blush. And now that I am wearing blush, I'm liking this look a lot better. I think it's because my entire face was just so pale, and then in contrast with the dark shades, it looked a bit weird. But now that I'm wearing blush, all is good again, all is good in the world. So far, these mattes, again, stunning. Blendable, so extremely pigmented, it's crazy. The dark blue sparkly shade, I'm not entirely sure if I like that one. It's a bit like too deep of a base for me to work with, and it has a lot of fallout. So I'm not sure if I like that one, but so far the other shades I do like. Went for a very dark grungy look today. And the next look will be a lot more light and fun and colorful, I feel like. So that's look number 1 done. Let's quickly get into look number 2. For look number 2, like I said, we're focusing on the greens and pinks, which I'm really excited about. Because honestly, they're my favorite colors, and especially like these murky tones, they're stunning. So I can't wait to get into it. So let's quickly take a look at what I'm doing. So I'm first going to go in with the pink matte, which is shade number 4. And I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush because I'm going to be blending it all over the crease. We can just go in and blend this out. That's just, you know, to me, this is a neutral. This is like a beautiful neutral to me. Again, it's very easy to blend. I feel like we're only having some issues over here. Might be because my skin is really dry. It's winter, and please don't mind my skin. It's like really dry and flaky recently, which also sometimes makes it a bit more difficult to properly apply eyeshadow. I'll just quickly blend this all over. I love shades like these because they're the perfect depth. You can build it up, create a lot of depth in that corner, but they're also like pigmented enough to easily blend out, you know? Beautiful. So easy, honestly. Let's go in with the first shimmer, shade 9. It's like a really flaky multi-chrome that's like pink, but also blue and purple and green. It's basically all the colors of the rainbow and yellow, and I'm just applying that on the inner corner of the lid. Oh my god, did you see how easy that went? I feel like you're seeing a different shade from every single corner that you're gonna look at this shade. And there's like a little bit of a pink base to it. And I want to add a bit of my favorite shade, green. Okay, so I'm going into the green with a slightly fluffy brush that has some shape to it, just so we can place it correctly. And I'm gonna go into the inner corner and drag a little line from that inner corner downwards, and then also going upwards kind of around that shimmer as if we're creating like a half cut crease. And I do want to make sure that there's a lot of pigment, so I'm just going over that again and again. But we're basically using it to create a matte inner corner highlight. And now I want to do a similar thing, but I think I'm gonna go in with some concealer first so we can get the shape down, because we have some pink going on over here. And as you can see, this green is quite pigmented, but because it's so like a muddy green, it kind of like works not that great with my skin tone in the way that it turns more muddy and not bright. So I'm gonna use concealer as like a little guideline so we can put it on top. And then it's gonna make the shade very, very pigmented. So I'm just gonna put a tiny bit of concealer on the back of my hand. And now I'm gonna create the shapes that I want the green to be in later. I'm basically going for a big dot that we're dragging out. So it's gonna look a bit like a comet, I guess. And then I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Like that. We have some little fun shapes, I feel like. And now that we have those shapes, we can go fill them in with the green. So I'm just tapping that green shade on to that concealer. I feel like it just slightly boosts that green and makes a tiny bit more definition between the green and the pink. Which, because the green is like almost blending into the pink, to me is a good sign. Because it means that these shades will also blend together and work really well when used in like a single blended look, you know what I mean? Like that, we have added just a slight bit of color detail to her look. And then as a final step, I want to go into shade 1. It's a beautiful pinkish shimmer. And I want to use that to create a liner shape. And you could basically use the same trick for this as well. First, carve it out with concealer and then go in with the shimmer. I just want to see how well this performs. So we're going for a fun graphic liner shape. I'm first doing a wing from the outer corner, going towards my eyebrow. And then I'm gonna go from slightly above my crease towards the end of that wing. And I feel like this has a bit of that green in the shimmer as well. So that's matching really well with those green details that we put onto it. It's nice that the shimmers are a bit more on the creamy side, which is my favorite shimmer type, because that means we can also apply them in this way. With drier shimmers it doesn't work that well, then you really have to do the concealer trick and then apply it on top. With this one, this works quite well. So this is what we're going for. I'm just gonna finish up the other eye and add everything that I want to add to this look, and then I'll be right back with you with the finished look. Okay, I am back with the finished look. What I added to this look was again the ShellWeMakeup Present Highlighter Palette, because we just need these beautiful glowy highlighters every single day. And of course we're doing ShellWeMakeup today, so I thought it was appropriate. And on the lips I'm wearing the Cara Beauty Line Up Lip Liner in shade, this is Helena or Claudia. They don't have any shade names on the packaging, so I always have to try and remember. It's a bit annoying. Either Helena or Claudia. And then I lined my lip with that, and on the center of my lip I added the Haggard Dual Lip Gloss. It has like a matte side on one side, which I used. I didn't use the glossy part, I just used the matte part on the center of the lip. And this is actually, oh, this is the one I'm using by the way, not this one. This is shade, I don't know. So this is the Scepter Series Double-Ended Lip Gloss by Haggard. And this is shade Maiden Prayer. And I just used the matte side of that one. So that's what I added. I decided to not add any lashes because couldn't be bothered. And I actually liked how it looked with just some mascara. So that is the finished look. I love the shades that I used in this look. They're so easy to use. They look so beautiful. They're so little pastel-y and soft. It's like, oh, so my vibe. So I'm very excited about this. So we basically only have one shade in the palette left that I haven't used yet. So I want to focus on that one for the final look. So let's quickly get into look number 3. Let's quickly get into the final look of the day, and I really want to focus on this beautiful holographic shade that is in the palette that I haven't used yet, which is shade number 7. It's stunning. It literally takes on a different color from every single angle, and it looks like there's like a holographic multicolor glitter in it. So that is what I want to focus on. So keeping it very simple for this look, but I just want this sparkle to speak, you know. So first I'm just gonna go in a little bit with shade 10 to lay a bit of a base for the shadow. Already primed my eyes as usual, and I'm just gonna create a bit of a blended smoky liner moment. Smoke this out a tiny bit, making sure we keep the shape, but the edges are a bit smoky and blended. And then all that's left to do is go into that beautiful holographic shade, applying that right on top going to the inner corner of the eye. Keeping it extremely simple. It's like an elevated liner moment, you know? That's it, or that's the look. I just really want this shadow to shine. I'm just quickly gonna do the rest of the makeup and then I'll be right back with you. Okay, so this is the final look. I added up, not adding lashes again, just because I feel like it's not necessary. The highlighter is by Kaura Beauty in the shade Luna. And then on the lips, I'm wearing one of the lip and cheek mats from the ShellWeMakeup Farasha collection. Because they actually came out with 3 duo lip and cheek mats. And then also 3 eyeliners, which I haven't tried yet. But I really wanted to try this lip and cheek matte. Because I'm still trying to figure out the formula, how it can work for me. Because it's such an interesting, unique formula, honestly. It's like, it looks like a mousse, like a, you know, when you eat chocolate mousse, it looks like that. It's very puffy and it has a really, really interesting texture. Let me see. It has like a really light and fluffy texture. It's really interesting. But I used the shade or the duo called Lepka, and I used a lighter shade, and I used it as a blush as well in this look, and I feel like it looks really nice. It looks really toasty, a bit fall-like. It's a nice shade. So yeah, that's also part of the Farasha collection if you're interested. But I am enjoying these lip tints so far. I am getting used to the fact that they're not regular lipsticks that give like full coverage pigmentation. You kind of have to build them up a tiny bit, but then they do leave like a nice thin layer of a bit of a natural stain, I guess. It looks really nice. I just really have to get used to the formula because it's so different from what I regularly use. But anyway, that's the lip and cheek matte. Looks very nice. This look, very, very simple, honestly. So yeah, I ended up using all of the shades in this palette. So far, again, the mattes are so up my alley. The colors are beautiful. The formula is so buttery and soft and pigmented and easy to blend. I feel like the one that I struggled with the most is the dark gray that I'm using here as well. Stick a bit too much to my primer maybe, made it a little bit hard to blend, but that's it. The other shades are so easy to build up and blend out. The shimmers again are stunning. I am not the biggest fan of the dark blue one because I think the base is just too dark. Like, I'm not gonna use that often. I just know because I don't wear like really dark shades that often, and I feel like it may not work perfectly in this color story for me, at least. Basically those 2 dark shades are my only complaint. Like, they're not my favorite, but they're still good, but they're not my favorite. I'm sorry if you can hear the wind. And then again, the shimmers are stunning. I love that there are still kind of different formulas within the shimmers. Like, we have the really flaky one over here, which is beautiful, but then you have a bit of a drier one and a bit of a more like a creamy one. Like, there is a difference in formulas, which is nice. Like, there's a little bit for everyone in there, but they're beautiful and sparkly as always. Like, ShellWeMakeup shimmers are some of my favorites. So in general, I'm really excited about this palette. I love the murky pastel-y tones. These are going to be so perfect for spring. I'm gonna use these so much. And I also can't wait to like combine this with all the other ShellWeMakeup palettes that I have. I really want to do a custom palette at some point, maybe. Anyway, the Farasha palette, beautiful, stunning. Again, the packaging. ShellWeMakeup is just the best on beautiful packaging. And I love that all the palettes match. They all fit together. I have a nice little collection. The shadows, again, never disappoint. We've created 3 very fun looks with this palette, and I feel like you can create a whole bunch more. It's a very versatile palette. Very excited about it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. If you want to see even more from me, my Instagram is linked down below where I share all my makeup looks. And it's gonna be it from me today. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Doodles!